Ferrari will sell you a car on a wait list and make you prove you deserve it. Rolls-Royce will sell you a car and quietly decide whether to invite you back. Bentley will sell you a car, build it by hand and crew, and not particularly care what you think of either of those facts. 7 levels. Let's get into it. Level 1. The Bentayga starts at $195,000. Before 2016, Bentley was selling 11,000 cars a year and losing money on most of them. The Bentayga changed that. Here is what Bentley does not advertise. The Bentayga shares its basic platform with the Porsche Cayenne and the Lamborghini Urus. Same Volkswagen Group architecture underneath. Bentley retuned the chassis, retrimmed everything, and charged 3 times the Cayenne price. The buyers at this level mostly don't care, which is the correct response when you can afford not to. It is the only Bentley you can buy without having formed an opinion about Bentley first. Every other car in this lineup requires a specific intent. The Bentayga accepts walk-ins. Within 2 years of launch, it became the brand's best-selling model. It is the least romantic Bentley ever built. It is also the one keeping every car above it in production. And once you've sat in it, the question stops being whether you want a Bentley. It becomes which one. Level 2. The Flying Spur starts at $220,000. 6.0-liter twin-turbo W12. 626 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. The car weighs 2,400 kilograms and reaches that number anyway because Bentley's engineers treat weight as a problem to be solved rather than a constraint to be accepted. The rear cabin has reclining seats and folding tables. The front has a steering wheel. Both are finished by craftspeople in crew who spend an average of 18 hours on the interior alone. The Flying Spur exists for people who have a driver but occasionally want to drive. That distinction sounds small. It is not. The buyer has not decided which role he prefers. The Flying Spur does not require him to. And the moment he decides, that is when he starts looking at the next level. Level 3. The Continental GT starts at $230,000. This is the car that saved Bentley. Not metaphorically, literally. In 2003, Volkswagen had just paid £430 million for a brand producing 1,500 cars a year and losing money. The Continental GT sold to people who had never considered a Bentley before. Hollywood, Dubai, Moscow, Shanghai. More than 80,000 sold. Within 4 years, Bentley went from crisis to the fastest-growing luxury brand in the world. Grand Tour is a specific category, not a sports car, not a luxury car. A car designed to cover very large distances very quickly, while the occupants feel none of the effort. Most buyers choose the V8 over the W12. It is lighter, more responsive, and sounds considerably better. That surprises people who expected the bigger engine to be the answer. It is not always the answer, but for the buyer who found the GT a little too easy, Bentley built an answer for that too. Level 4. The Continental GT Speed starts at $290,000. W12, 659 horsepower, top speed 208 miles per hour, an all-wheel drive system that shifts 100% of power to the rear when the driver decides that is what the road requires. Carbon ceramic brakes that bring a 2.5-ton car from 60 to 0 in 31 meters. The Speed is not a faster car with better numbers. It is a car with a different opinion about what driving should feel like. The standard GT believes the driver should be insulated from the road. The Speed believes the driver would like to be consulted. The buyer has owned the standard GT. He liked it. He has now decided he wants to know more about what is happening beneath him. He ordered the Speed in a dark color. He did not order the contrasting roof. That is considered a personality trait at this level. He is not done yet. He still has a problem the car hasn't solved. Level 5. The Bentayga Speed and EWB. The Bentayga Speed starts at $250,000. 542 horsepower, active sport exhaust, a suspension Bentley describes as purposeful. The most diplomatic way an engineering team has ever described what happens when you push a 2.4-ton SUV past the limit of what comfort requires. The extended wheelbase version costs $230,000 and adds 180 millimeters to the rear cabin, 7 inches, a rear seat that rotates 40 degrees toward the door, an airline-style footrest. The rear occupant does not touch the door handle. That is not their concern. The Speed and the EWB are not the same car. They are not for the same person. One is for the buyer who found the standard Bentayga a little too comfortable. The other is for the buyer who found the act of driving a little too demanding. Both options exist at the same price point. At this level, the car stops being a purchase. It becomes a brief. And Mulliner is the department that executes it. Level 6. Mulliner Bespoke. Mulliner is Bentley's personalization division. It has existed in various forms since the 1760s. That is not a typo. It originally made horse-drawn carriages. It now makes the version of every Bentley the catalog does not describe. There is no fixed price. The process begins with a conversation, then a brief, then a team that sources materials and matches colors to objects the client brings in. One client brought a paint chip from a wall in his home. Mulliner matched it across the entire exterior. Another brought a fabric swatch from a boat. Same result. The buyer is not purchasing a better specification. He is purchasing the removal of every remaining decision that someone else already made for him. He has enough of those in his life. The car should not be one of them. Most people stop here. 18 people did not. Level 7. The Batur. 18 will be made. The price was $2.1 million. All 18 were sold before the car was publicly revealed. Read that sequence again. The Batur is not a variant, not a special edition. It is a car designed from scratch for 18 clients who were involved in the design process before the design was finished. The interior wood trim on its predecessor, the Bacalar, came from trees preserved in the fenlands of East Anglia for 5,000 years. 5,000-year-old wood in a car, because Bentley's brief had no clause about what was impossible. The Batur carries the final expression of Bentley's W12 engine, the same engine that saved the brand in 2003, now discontinued. This is its last statement. Within months of first deliveries, one appeared on the secondary market at $3.3 million, a $1.2 million premium on a car that had barely been driven. There are more people on Bentley's standard waiting list than there are Baturs in existence. The buyer did not find the Batur. Bentley found him. The invitation arrived because of the relationship, not the money, though the money was also required. He said yes before he asked for the specification. W.O. Bentley won Le Mans 4 times in 5 years. Then the company went bankrupt. He found out by reading a newspaper. Rolls-Royce bought it. Volkswagen bought it from them. The name has changed hands 3 times. The factory and crew has been building cars since 1946. The craftspeople still spend 18 hours finishing an interior by hand. Ferrari makes you prove you deserve the car. Rolls-Royce makes the car an invitation. Bentley builds the car, puts it in front of you, and lets the object do the arguing. The car was never what Bentley was selling. It was always the standard it refused to lower. If this was useful, subscribe. I break down how things actually work, not how the brochure describes them. See you in the next one.